There is no denying the fact that React is the world's most popular JavaScript framework. Sorry, it's a library, it's not a framework, but regardless of what you want to call it, there's no denying the fact that as other JavaScript libraries have come and gone, React has staying power, which is why I want to show you how to get started with development in React, starting off by creating a simple Hello World application. But I promise you, we're going to do more than just print Hello World to the screen. If you give me just a few minutes of your time, I'm going to show you how easy it is to declare variables, create methods, manage state, and just get up and running with ReactJS. Hi, I'm Cameron McKenzie. I'm the editor-in-chief over at theserverside.com, and I have to be one of the world's biggest React advocates. And I'm always amazed how when I show people how React works, those people are amazed by how simple React is. And I want to share that amazement with you, starting off by creating our very first Hello World React application, and that is what we're going to do next. So the prerequisites for this React tutorial is to have Node installed on your machine. If you don't have it installed, it really is a simple installation. Just nodejs.org, go to downloads, look for the pre-built installer, and just accept all the defaults during the installation. I do have another tutorial on how to download Node and even do a little smoke test React application, but I'll let you go and check that out. I'm just going to assume that you've already got Node installed. One test is just to type in npm -- version on the command line, and if you get something back, I've got 10.8.2 here for npm. Well, I know that I've got the Node package manager installed and I am ready to go. In order to create a React application, find a spot on your file system. I create a folder called _apps, and I'm just going to issue the npm init, React app, and hello world command. What this is going to do is this is going to have Node create a new folder under apps, which we'll see appear in just a minute. The folder will be called Hello World. And what's going to happen is behind the scenes, all of the different libraries and resources that I need in order to run a React application are going to get downloaded and installed for me. Once that's done, I think I can just issue an npm run command, and we will actually see a basic React application in the flesh running inside of our browser. Okay, and there we go. Everything is installed. It does give me some instructions. It says, hey, you know, all you have to do is type in npm start and your application will actually start running. One of the things is people will do that, right? They'll go, okay, we've just got to install, let's do npm start, and this will fail because I actually have to go into that folder, Hello World, in order for this to run. So I'll just show you what happens if you get too excited here. You type in npm start and it says, hey, there's all sorts of errors here, ENOENT, no such file or directory. As I said, I'm in the wrong directory. I have to get into that Hello World directory. So just cd hell star, and there we go. I hope my video doesn't get demonetized for saying that. But now that I'm in that Hello World directory, I'm in this folder, I can go over here and I can type in npm start, and this is going to actually start up my React application, and I'm actually going to have a nice little React application page come up. I'm going to move that over here, keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, I want to actually head into this Hello World folder over here and just take a look at what we've got going on here. Right in the src folder is where all of the source code is stored. That's where we're going to be editing our files. And right over there, app.js is the key field that we want to keep our eye on. That's got all the interesting code in it. I'm going to open that up right now in TextPad. Now I know all of you kids love your VS Code and you love your IntelliJ or whatever cool editors that you can afford. I can't afford VS Code, so I'm still working with Notepad. But I think working with Notepad is going to demonstrate just how easy it is to start writing some React code and some React applications. And our React application is now running on localhost 3000. That is the port that you have to have available to run the app. If you look over on the left-hand side, you can see the image tag. On the right-hand side, you can see the spinning React logo. So that's how A maps to B. You can see a paragraph tag that says edit src app.js and save to reload. I'm someone that likes to do what he's told, so I've got the app.js file here on the left-hand side. As I said, that is under that src folder from Hello World that was just created. I'm going to come over here, and this is a Hello World React tutorial. Why don't we type in Hello World? I never know if that's one word or two. Boom, instantaneously our React application has updated itself. There we go. It says learn React. And why learn React? Why not learn some Mojo maybe and change that link? Learn Mojo. And where can you find some Mojo? I'm the editor-in-chief over at the serverside.com. So why don't we go the serverside.com. Click Control S. It now says Learn Mojo. The link is the serverside.com. One of the things you should notice right away is this instantaneous response that you get when you start saving your code. You write a little code. Here, I'm just using Notepad, no bells and whistles here. And you notice that immediately the code on the right-hand side automatically gets updated. That is pretty cool, I think. What's next? We're developers. We need a little more than just hello world. I'm going to do a couple of things here. First of all, I'm going to delete the anchor tag just because it's consuming like 10 lines of code there. And I want things to just be nice and simple. I'm going to delete that. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a variable. One of the things that React does for you is it manages the state of your variables. And when the state of your variables changes, it will update the page. And also you can have these things called hooks where you can have other things happen when your state changes as well. In order to do that, you have to add this import React, use state from React. This gives those state management features to you. And once I've got that, I'm just going to declare a variable. You just declare a variable right inside that app function. This is immutable variable, constant adjective, set adjective, use state crazy. What I want to do is I want to add an adjective to my application. So I create a variable called adjective. I added a setter method. When you change the immutable state from React, when you change your state variables, don't do it directly. Like if you have a list of things, don't mutate things inside the list. Just create a new list and then pass it to the setter. That's very important. Here I've said, I'm going to have some managed state here. I've got a variable that I want React to keep track of. It's called adjective. I'm going to set it to the variable crazy. So why don't I come over here, see if I can spit that variable out. Adjective. Sorry, I didn't mean to go all high school grammar on you here. And hello adjective, nothing worked. Why? I didn't save my code. I'm just joking. You can see it's red up there in the top left-hand corner. I'll click Control S. And boom, now that variable is getting pushed out to the screen. So I'm using some state. I'm using some variables. But of course, my variable doesn't vary. It just says crazy all the time. Why don't we make it vary just a little bit? Here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to add a little button, and a button is going to call a method. If you add a piece of code to your UI, to your HTML, if I had a button and that button links to a method, what ends up happening is I end up getting an error if the method doesn't exist first. But I'm going to add that button in just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to say button, and the button is going to say change the adjective end button. I'm going to click Control S just to see if that works. So I've now got a little button on my page, and when I click this button, I want that word crazy to change to beautiful. Hello, beautiful world, a reference to a famous Devo song, I guess. Now I want that to happen on an event, on a click event, which means I have to have a method handling that click event. I could say button on click equals change adjective right now in my code, but it would error out. It would say there is no method to support that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to add a new method. It's not hard to do. So again, const change adjective is going to be the name of the method. And then the implementation of this method is simply going to be changing that adjective. I'll set the adjective. And I'll set the adjective to beautiful. Set adjective to beautiful, and now that should change it from hello crazy world to hello beautiful world. Let me see, adjective. I gotta spell things correctly here. It's one of the things I don't like about React, and I hope they change it in the future where you have to spell things correctly and consistently. So that needs improvement. Okay, now the button doesn't work, right? Like nothing's happening here. That's because I haven't wired it up. So over here on your button, you have to say, well, on click of that button, what we want to do is we want to call that change adjective method. And I'm going to copy and paste it because React is just so persnickety about spelling. Okay, so does that look right? On click equals change adjective. That'll call that method. It'll call the setter method for the adjective, save the state, change that to beautiful. I don't know. Will it work? It says Webpack compiled successfully. I'm going to click the change adjective button and boom, hello, beautiful world. Notice we've created a hello world application, just a basic application, but we have now upped our game significantly. We've added variables. We now have React managing state for us. So if the state of a variable changes, the UI updates immediately. We now have a button on here that can call one of our methods. And here we change the adjective. Of course, it only works once. You could maybe even, make this look a little bit better. I could say, if it says beautiful, change it to crazy. And if it says crazy, change it to beautiful. So let's just do something like that. So if the adjective, we probably should be using a ternary operator or whatever the young kids call those things. If the adjective triple equals, I'll never get used to that as a Java developer. And I am a Java developer, which, I just find this so easy to use. I've become a little bit of a React developer myself. Else, here we go. What do we want? Set adjective to, let's get the spacing all done. And here we're saying, look, if the adjective is crazy, change it to beautiful. And if it's not crazy, then set it to crazy. And so change the adjective. What happens now if I click this change adjective button? Hello, crazy world. Now if I change adjective, it goes to hello, beautiful world. And there you go. That's how easy it is to work with React and create a basic hello world application that has variables, that uses state management, that has methods, and has methods that can get triggered by an event like a button click. It really is super simple. Now, the next tutorial that I've got in this series is actually creating a to-do application. And it takes all of this to the next level. But at the same time, I think you'll be amazed at how neat of an application that you can create, how much you can do with just a few lines of code and something that's very, very responsive and very, very easy to develop. So there you go. That is your Hello World React application. If you enjoyed the tutorial, why don't you head over to theserverside.com. I'm the editor-in-chief over there. I don't think I introduced myself. My name's Cameron McKenzie, author of a few books back there. The editor-in-chief over at theserverside.com. Also, if you're watching this video, you're probably watching it on YouTube. So I would also say, finally, why don't you like and subscribe on YouTube?